Okay, so this is the McDonald's order system, which you're going to adapt slightly. I'll just start by running it to show you what it does. Just going to double click on the console, press F11. I've got a menu here of options, and I can view my orders, I can take an order, or I can quit the program. So if I view orders, there aren't any. So I'm going to take an order. And to take an order at McDonald's, you choose a burger. So you have two choices. I'm going to choose the hamburger. And you have two drink choices. I'm going to choose a Coke. And I'm done making my order, so I can view orders, and I should see one order there. I can add to that. Let's do a cheeseburger this time and Coke. View orders. And so now I've got two orders. Okay. So briefly, when we're taking an order, the start method is calling, the first class is calling the start method on the McDonald's class, which in turn calls the take order class. That method calls the print burger menu, which prints the menu. And so this diagram is showing a small portion of what's happening when you make, when you're taking an order. And we call this a sequence diagram. It doesn't show the whole program, it's just showing an aspect of it. So let's take a look at how the program runs by tracing it. So our main method is in the start class. The start class doesn't have a whole lot of code in it. All it's doing is creating a McDonald's object, and it's kickstarting it basically. So if I put the cursor here, I'm going to press F3 to go to the definition of that method. So I'm inside the McDonald's class now, inside the start method. And I can see, if I just take a big glance at it, I have a while loop, and there's some if statements inside of it for the different options of the menu. I have a variable to hold my order object. And so when I'm creating an order object, I'm calling this method called takeOrder, which we saw in the sequence diagram. So if we follow that trail, we put the cursor on takeOrder and I press F3, we see that we have a method here. We can tell that the method is going to return an order object. So to take an order, we're going to print the burger menu. So we'll press F3. What does that do? That just prints out a list of burger descriptions from this menu object. We'll look at the details of that a little later. For now, I'm just going to go back to where I came from. I'm going to use the back button. This is kind of like the shortcut in your web browser. So you hold down Alt and press left cursor key. Okay, so we're back to where we started. So it asks for a burger, and the choices were two numbers, right? It was 1 and 2. And this processes that input, and we do the same thing for the drink menu. That choice of burger gets converted into an integer, which we then use as an index. into the list of burger objects that are in the menu, and then we take that burger object, and the same thing with the drink, and we create a new order using the order constructor. So once that's initialized, we return it. And let's go back to where we came from previous to this. Alt, left cursor key. Okay, so we're back here. At take order, and so that just shows us that when we take an order, we return here. And so this just says if it's not null, then add it to our list of orders. Because it could be that you were entering an order and then you kind of canceled it halfway, and then this method would return null, in which case you wouldn't want to do this. So that's how you add an order to the list of orders. You also have some other options to stop the program. If you enter a 3, then it's going to turn off this flag, and then your while loop won't continue to repeat. So earlier I kind of glossed over the menu. So we said that there was a menu. Not sure why I'm initializing that twice. I just noticed that bug, so I'll fix it. Because it's being initialized here as well. And so in the menu object, it just kind of initializes itself with some burger options, some drink options, and those are 2 different array lists. And so each option has a cost associated with it. And so we can take a look at the burger class. I'll press F3. Inside the burger class, we've got a name and a price like we just saw. And we also have a method that prints out a description, which is handy for when we want to print out orders. Drink class is basically the same thing. And inside the order class, we've got a reference to a burger, a reference to a drink, there's a tax rate, and a way to calculate a total order cost using this method. We have another get description method, which prints out a nicely formatted order. And so what your task is going to be is to build on top of this program to add some features to it.